Or our top story today on 2 News at 5, 23 arrests for this guy in just over 20 years. A violent fugitive at the center of a standoff between police. You're looking at more than a dozen mugshots of Brian Fillion. Police have identified him as the suspect in an overnight chase that ended in gunfire and death.
The chase started when police spotted Fillion leaving an apartment complex near 400 East, 300 South in Salt Lake City, and this video shows the scene.
Now, Fillion was killed, but not before he shot and killed a Harriman City police canine by the name of Hondo.
We're glad you're with us today for 2 News at 5. We do have live team coverage on this story for you tonight.
Yeah, Jenna Rose and Harriman, as a community begins to mourn that canine officer, digging into what's being done to protect these dogs that are in the line of duty.
But first, Jeremy Harris is digging a little deeper into this suspect. And Jeremy, that's a lot of mugshots, a lot of arrests. What else have you learned?
It is, Shauna, and police have been tracking Fillion for 2 days before they decided to try and arrest him here in this alleyway. You'll be able to see where the gunshots actually hit the apartment building. The neighbors in this apartment building actually saw the chaotic scene play out.
This will be embedded in my memory forever.
A small memorial at the scene marks the spot where Canine Hondo died.
I turned back around and they were carrying the dog away.
Barbara Dawkins witnessed the shooting in the alley next to her apartment.
And then he brandished something, and that's when they fired.
A police task force had tracked homicide suspect Brian Fillion here to the Peter Pan Apartments on 300 South in Salt Lake City. When they moved in to arrest him, they say he pulled out a gun and shots were fired.
Sometimes fugitives, they make the decision on how the arrest can go down. And unfortunately, carrying a weapon and being a fugitive is a dangerous combination.
U.S. Marshals say Fillion was a parole fugitive, and he was one of several suspects accused of killing a man in North Ogden last week.
We typically only assist state and locals with their most violent and dangerous criminals.
And police were ready for danger, which is why they brought Canine Hondo to help with the arrest.
More cops, and just madness. We didn't really know what was going on.
Neighbors knew something horrible had happened.
Hearing something like a gunshot, especially so close, was super frightening.
But to hear the news a police canine had died.
I just had this need to represent this dog.
Barbara says she had to do something to honor Hondo.
That dog was a sacrifice for us. You know, dogs, we don't give them the credit they deserve.
Now, police tell me there was also a woman who was taken into custody last night, but at this point it's not clear if she will face any charges in connection with this incident. Now, coming up on 2 News at 6 o'clock, this was not the first time that the violent fugitive strike team had gone after this suspect. We'll talk about that and more about the crime he's suspected of committing up in Weber County in an hour on 2 News at 6. For now, reporting live in Salt Lake City, Jeremy Harris, 2 News.